you know what? You are probably much more powerful than you may understand yourself. We have to confront fear in order to make change. That's just part of the human mind, man. The older and more well-educated I get, the more I understand that human beings we are animals. We're a very primal creature. We're not much different than the other animals of this earth. We have very basic fundamental drivers. This may turn into a multi-part video, holy crap. I struggle with figuring out how to voice myself, man. So before I forget, the initial point of this video is to talk about how you can use that to educate in order to help advance these problems, like fix these problems that we're all facing as far as, you know, if you're a person that deals with like discrimination and hate, then maybe there's some things that I'm about to say. So if you're one of those people that's, you know, running around throwing a fit, hating on other people, you could just leave now. Other than that, for my brothers and sisters out there, they're just, you know, we're living this life and it's just nothing but a battle. I want you to imagine this in your head, okay? So, human beings are driven by the familiar. It doesn't matter whether or not the familiar is good. Human beings are driven by the familiar. And that makes it very easy to manipulate people, and this is something that our politicians do, which you can see a lot of in American media. I had to change my glasses. And when it comes to all the hate speech that's going down on like Facebook and YouTube and the, what do you call it, depreciating content, the culturally insensitive towards various cultures and women that's going on how things would display on Google. There's a lot of statistics that I'm looking at right now that are not looking good, like increase in violence rates, substance abuse, people unaliving themselves and including at a very young age, violent statistics towards women. The thing is, we really need to get along as a human species if we're not going to kill the planet. How many animals have gone extinct in the past several years? So I'm going to get off my tangent. Okay, so you got two people with different colored shoes. And this guy comes up to this other guy that's also got red shoes just like him, and he says, "Hey, what's up, red shoes guy? We both got red shoes. We're not like those yellow shoes people over there," and points at the people with the yellow shoes. This goes way beyond racism. This is our primal cognitive behavioral programming that we as human beings are prone to. And you can see it throughout various facets of life. In how we fear or are uncomfortable with the unfamiliar and gravitate towards the familiar. So you can either believe me or not, but the more you do research on this, there's all kinds of ways that this applies. But that person that approached that other guy to start the conversation by claiming that, you know, we're better than these people that have different colored shoes because our shoes are the same color, is a way of psychological manipulation in trying to belong to a group, which ultimately appeals to our subconscious needs for belonging and stuff, because human beings don't have sharp pointy teeth In comparison to the animal kingdom, we don't run fast, so we are not equipped to survive outside of a group. So we are primarily organized to need each other and feel a sense of belonging. And you see today our communities are being torn apart. People suffer when they are lonely. They suffer from loneliness. There are physical health consequences. So there's been this whole thing going on for a while now called the loneliness epidemic. People feel free to look into that. And that's our subconscious drivers actually causing physical harm to our bodies through the stress levels that we exhibit when we are socially ostracized and don't have a sense of belonging in a group. So people will actively seek out group identity in order to fulfill that pain that's inside of them, to belong to something, whether or not they understand it. And there's studies and research out there on this subject matter. And I guarantee you, the people pulling the strings in society, including our politicians, our business people that are out of control, and our politicians, I'm certain, know this. So we continue to observe the phenomenon called the hater. The hater has existed throughout hundreds of years of human history. The man who discovered that plants drink water by doing experiments with them, pretty much the father of modern agriculture, was put in prison for doing witchcraft. This is how society treats people who speak and behave intelligently. It is not a good thing that in today's age and time, and throughout human history, being intelligent has in some way been frowned upon, and you can witness these people are often mistreated. During my live stream the other day, we went over a list of animals going extinct. If you don't know what the IPCC is, Google it. I want you to know who those people are and what they mean to the world and why they were organized in the first place. We have to find a way to get people to get along because we're killing the fucking planet that we live on. And people are really struggling and suffering right now. A lot of people. And the way that people are treating each other, partially because they don't know how to deal with their own problems, is causing even more suffering. And it is going to get worse if we do not do something. When it comes to sexists and racists and this hateful shit and all this crap that comes out of people's mouths that wounds people, you know, where we have to come in and have conversations and stuff. Some people, you know, they're growing, they're learning, they're young. We have to teach these people. But you can observe time and time again, every single time that somebody that is hateful shoots their mouth off and does the things that they do, that those tend to be uneducated people. They're not very smart. And you can see that their primal needs are being appealed to by somebody who's willing to lead them, whether or not it's in the right direction. And so these people follow these groups for a sense of belonging and feeling and all this stuff that makes them feel good inside, and don't question the information they're actually being given. They don't seek to truly understand and allow themselves to be misfed all kinds of political jargon and propaganda. So you should feel bad for these people when they speak, because they got to be suffering hard, because they don't even know why they're suffering. They don't even know why they're struggling. They don't even truly understand it. And then they're being led and controlled by sick people who are making the situation that's making them so unhappy in the first place that all of us are struggling in much worse. So if you want to educate others, repeated exposure will break down those biases over time. If they won't listen, Keep repeating it. Keep repeating it.